What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Last time, we saw what happened during the Tournament of Power in this scenario, and it's actually going to have a huge effect on what happens in this part. If you remember, Azir had some brief interactions with Topo, someone who is kind of similar in terms of his position. Today we'll be exploring that further, as well as wrapping up the scenario as a whole. For this part, let's set a like goal of 3,000 likes, just because I do it with every video. By the way, if you're sad about this series ending, I have a new one about Cell being reincarnated. I'll link that one above. Go check that out if you haven't already. Anyways, let's finish off this scenario. Following the tournament, Azir's kinda interested in what the universes have to offer. Of course he knew about the multiverse beforehand, but that tournament was the only experience he had with it. There were so many strong people from other places. As someone who's only been in Universe 7 his whole life, he kinda wants to see these other places. Specifically, there was one person that stood out to him, that being Topo, another person that was training to be God of Destruction. Although his training was a lot more formal since he was a real candidate. That Topo guy was pretty interesting, not to mention the fact that he revived everyone too. He's a pretty great guy. But it kinda makes sense with all that justice stuff he was talking about during the tournament. He really wants to visit some other universes now. Azir goes to Beerus and asks him, he really wants to go to another place. And after thinking about it for a bit, Beerus decides that he might benefit from going to Universe 11. If he meets that Topo guy again, he could train just like him. Plus, it would allow him to sleep for a bit. Getting him out of his hands meaning Beerus has no one to train at the moment. Whis handles the two Saiyans, so that doesn't really matter. He asks if Goku and Vegeta want to go too, but they'd rather stay here and continue their training. Also considering the fact that Azir's training for something completely different, it wouldn't really suit them too well. When you think about it in terms of what we've seen in the series, this isn't too abnormal. I mean, look at Kibito. He trained with Zamasu briefly. Considering the two were of a similar position, it's really no different than that. The problem is, would Universe 11 agree to it? As for Topo, he'd probably be pretty enthusiastic about it. And as for the gods of Universe 11, maybe they wouldn't really want to do this, but after winning the tournament, they're kind of on a high. I mean, they just proved to every other universe that they're the strongest. And now someone from Universe 7 is asking to train there. This just makes them look better if anything. So they graciously accept this offer. Whis takes Azir to Universe 11, and he'll be staying here for a few weeks. Topo's glad to see him again. And immediately he has some great plans for Azir, dragging him along with him to his planet. Wow, Topo was really looking forward to this. Azir's happy to be here, but he didn't realize that Topo was that enthusiastic. The whole reason is because Topo wants to recruit him as a Pride Trooper. Wait, what? He just got here. Well, after hearing his story about how he's the reincarnation of a really bad guy, wouldn't this be the perfect thing for him to prove himself? Huh, Azir didn't really think of it like that. Well, being a Pride Trooper does sound pretty cool. Although, he just got this outfit. He doesn't really want to wear one of the other ones. No offense to Topo. Considering he's not actually a permanent member of this universe, Topo is only making him an honorary Pride Trooper. But wait, what about their training? Well, this is their training. He'll be training alongside the best of the best at Universe 11, including Topo himself. And the best part of this? He's gonna learn to pose. Topo shows off one of his brand new poses, perfectly executing it, leaving Azir in awe. Screw the God of Destruction powers, this is even cooler. He's pumped up, and Azir meets all the other people that he didn't get to formally meet during the tournament. Even Jiren. You know, for a superhero he is kinda scary and imposing. But everyone else seems really nice. You know, it would be cool if Universe 7 had something like this. No offense to Jaco and the Galactic Patrolman. Speaking of the Galactic Patrol, and a perfect segue, this is where the Moro arc begins. And even with Azir in the scenario, not too much of this arc would begin differently. I mean, think about it. Azir's not even there, he wouldn't really have anything to affect. The Galactic Patrol finds their way to Earth, not really having any great options besides recruiting some strong fighters. Naturally with that being Goku and Vegeta. They're all led to Namek, and everything around there goes normally. They meet Moro, they have their brief fight, Moro gets his wishes, yada yada. It's all very familiar, but things are going to start rapidly changing as we move forward. We don't have an exact time frame from when the Moro arc took place, and we could really assume that it took place a few weeks or a few months after the Tournament of Power. Not too long after, but long enough to give them some breathing room. And if we're going to go under that assumption, that means Azir gets more than enough time to actually train with the Pride Troopers. Let's say about 2 months. He's been in Universe 11 for a bit of time now, getting a lot stronger, learning things from Topo, and learning some great things from the Pride Troopers too. Not only in terms of his regular power, but also in terms of his God of Destruction ability, thanks to his new best friend. But sadly, it seems like his time there is going to be cut short. Through Whis, Goku actually asks if he can contact Azir, telling him it's an emergency. Topo's with Azir and hears all of this. Apparently there's a villain on the loose. One that just destroyed planet Namek. And he's threatening to go around the universe destroying more planets. Topo's eyes widen. A villain! He wants us to come and help. Azir is surprised to hear this, as is Whis and Beerus. The reasoning is Azir actually helped stop villains in Universe 11, so Topo wants to return the favor. Plus, it would be kind of fun to see Universe 7, even if it's under bad circumstances. Besides, even if he's gone, the other Pride Troopers can handle everything in this universe. Not to mention Jiren's still here if it's really an emergency, and he's even stronger than Toppo. They'll be fine without him. Well, alright, Azir returns to Universe 7 with Toppo in tow. Yup, Toppo is going to be a main character in this part. I am very glad to make him important in this scenario for once. Anywho, you could really see where the changes are beginning to happen. And there's another major change right after. Moro sends his scouts around the universe. And they find a planet with a really high source of power, wondering what that is. The planet does seem barren from afar, but the single high power level does interest them, and it'll probably please Moro. He heads over to this planet, a certain world called Vampa. You already know where I'm going with this. He lands on the planet, and there, he doesn't really find anything, just some bug creatures and some giant dog snake things. It's a really gross place, but that one high power that he sensed, he wants to find that. It'll be a perfect snack for him. He and his crew are then greeted by two people flying over to them, and immediately they recognize that this is a threat. The younger one gets ready to fight, even though he seems woefully outmatched. Moro's ready too. It'll be entertaining for a bit, then he can absorb this guy's power. But before the two clash, a massive blast comes in between them. The two Saiyans look over confused. Wait, there's more people on this planet? How are they only being found just now? The two people that land there are Toppo and Azir, having sensed that Moro was going over here. Vegeta's on some planet called Yardrat, while Goku's training with Meirus. Since Azir and Toppo don't really have anything to do, they decided to go for Moro right away, protecting whoever this guy is on this planet. Before he goes into the fight, Moro takes some energy from that one young Saiyan, leaving him worn out immediately, and right away, Azir and Toppo get to see this guy's power. He can steal energy. Definitely a really strong and dangerous ability. They'll need to watch themselves. They tell those two to stand back, and jump right towards Moro. He wonders why they're not scared of his ability. After seeing it, they should be smart enough to realize that they should stay away. But whatever, this is good for him. These fools will just give him more energy. But then Moro realizes why they attack right away. Together the two of them are charging an attack. One with a very familiar purple energy. Moro senses a threatening ki. One of a destroyer. The two of them then throw their hands forward, yelling Hakai together. Luckily for Moro, right before they attack, he jumped away. Had he waited any longer, he would have been erased by this. Thankfully he was quick enough. But still, these two are trouble. If he stays any longer, he might be able to get some energy from them. But he also risks being erased. He's wary of these two. They're trouble. But he'll deal with them later. For now, he retreats. Toppo and Azir try to chase him, but he's too fast. But they easily defeat the rest of the scouts. Vampa is saved and they catch up with these two people that they just saved. They're named Broly and Paragus. And they wonder why Moro came here of all places. Paragus says that occasionally, Broly has huge bursts of power when he fights. Since he was here looking for energy, it must have been that. But Paragus is just as confused. He asks them the same thing. Who are they and why are they here? They all catch up with each other, and realize that they should take these two back to Earth. This place is no place to live. Everyone on Earth sees that Azir's back, and he has 3 new guests with him. Okay, they know Toppo, but they're wondering why he's here at all. Is he not from Universe 11 or something? But more surprisingly, there's 2 Saiyans with him. Saiyans? They thought everyone was dead. Well, it turns out these 2 survived, and Azir spends a while explaining why Toppo's here and why these 2 Saiyans are here. Luckily, they came here just in time, because not long after, some of Moro's crew actually comes to find Earth. With Azir now here, the good thing is the group's all together and no one's caught off guard. Piccolo and Gohan would have been enough to fight these scouts. But with Toppo here and Azir, it'll be a lot easier. Broly would fight, but he's still a bit worn out from Moro. Luckily, Dende will help heal him. He's still a bit rusty at fighting, so he's gonna stay out of this one. As for Paragus, he still doesn't know that Vegeta lives here, so he's a happy camper for the time being. As you can imagine, they're able to defend Earth really easily. The only real issue is when they fight 7-3. Luckily, he only ended up stealing Piccolo's abilities, and while they are useful, it's not as good as getting a Hakai. If he stole one of Toppo's abilities or something, that would be kind of a big deal, but they're able to deal with this. Although it kinda stinks because he's able to escape, with Moro deciding that he's gonna wait a bit to go to Earth. With those 2 God of Destruction trainees there, it's kind of an issue. Not to mention, if he waits a bit longer, he'll get way more energy out of Earth, especially once Goku and Vegeta get back. So just like normal, they're gonna wait 2 months. Surprisingly enough, Toppo's actually fine staying here. This villain is unlike anything he's ever seen in his universe. He really wants to stop it. He'll head back to Universe 11 soon enough, but this is more important. Plus, Azir's still got some training to do. He wants him to become just as good of a candidate as him. And with these other people on Earth, he'll train them. Those people that he met at the tournament, and this new Saiyan that they have on their team. The 2 months pass. Goku and Vegeta are out of their training, and Moro's crew returns to Earth. His crew doesn't do too well. With Azir, Toppo, and Broly on the team, it's a lot easier to defend against them. But that's not that big of a deal, because Moro's the real issue. He thinks that if he stays far enough away from those 2, he won't have to worry about their Hakai. and while he's at it, he'll be able to steal their energy. He feels that he's gotten strong enough and fast enough to outmaneuver them at any cost, and he's feeling pretty confident, at least until Goku shows up. Surprisingly, he's finally back. It's been a while since he's seen Azir and he's glad to see him back, as well as everyone else on Earth. Oh, Toppo's here too. Weird, but cool. And there's another Saiyan or something? He definitely has missed out on a lot, but it's for a good reason. He then shows off his newest power, Ultra Instinct. Well, not new, but the fact that he has access to it, that's new. And pretty amazing for everyone to see. His training's really paid off, and with him here, they feel that they could definitely defeat Moro really easily. In terms of power, Azir and Toppo can't really do too much against him. And the thing is, he's really on guard against them. If they land even one hit, he doesn't know if it'll be a Hakai or not, and they don't want him stealing their energy. If their energy is stolen, they probably won't be able to perform a Hakai. So while they would love to fight right now, they're gonna let Goku weaken him, and then they'll jump in and finish it off. That's better for Moro too. He feels that he could take on Goku, although he comes to see that this power is way too much for him to handle. He and Goku seem about even in terms of strength, and with Ultra Instinct, Goku's able to work around a lot of Moro's magic, making it harder for him to attack and use his abilities. But it's working. He's starting to weaken the Magician, but as he's doing that, Goku's also getting weakened too. He can't keep this up for much longer. Not only has he been in Ultra Instinct for a while, but he's only just matching Moro in terms of power. He's not really overcoming him at all. Luckily, some more help arrives. Vegeta. He comes in and takes Moro's energy, making him de-transform back into his old state. This makes the Magician very desperate, and he only has one course of action left, absorbing 7-3. But unluckily for him, he walked right into a trap. Before he gets to 7-3, he's suddenly kicked by someone. It's Azir, in his golden form. He's kicked right into Toppo, who grabs onto Moro, swinging him around into a rock nearby. The dust clears around Moro as he weakly tries to stand up. In front of him, Azir and Toppo stand, with each of their hands out. They don't waste any time. In unison, they both say Hakai, erasing Moro before he even has a chance to say anything. And just to top it all off, they each strike a pose, with Azir happy to see how well he's developed at posing. Okay, the pose was kinda unnecessary, but it seems that Azir made some great progress. And naturally everyone's glad that Moro is now defeated. Thanks to a combined effort from Goku, Vegeta, Toppo, and Azir, they were able to overcome his abilities and finally defeat him. So, what now? Well, Toppo's glad that he finally got to stop this villain. He didn't expect to be in this universe for that long, but it was a nice experience. He got some more unique training that he didn't get in his universe. And he feels glad to help defend these other places. You know, even though the Pride Troopers cover Universe 11, he wonders if they could expand and become multiversal. That's probably too far down the road, but it would be pretty fun. At least until they get multiversal travel, or set up factions in other universes, he'll keep that in mind. It's a little too tough to plan out right now. But he heads back to Universe 11, saying goodbye to everyone and saying that he hopes to see Azir again. But there's still another loose end that we need to cover. Paragus sees that Vegeta's here now. He was watching the whole fight with Moro and was surprised to see that Vegeta's here. He was already suspicious when he met Gohan, but he didn't really think too much of it. Maybe it was just one Saiyan that was here, and those other two Hybrid Saiyans were his brothers. But really, one of them was the son of Vegeta, and Vegeta does live here. And while Paragus is a bit bitter, he kinda bites his tongue. After seeing their performance, he knows they won't stand a chance against Vegeta. Not to mention, they've been on Earth for a couple months now. It's much better than Vampa and they've gotten kinda used to it. He doesn't really want to screw that up. Maybe for the time being he'll let bygones be bygones and see where it goes from there. As for Broly, he's obviously going to become Goku's new training partner, as well as Vegeta's. He hasn't gotten to show a lot of his strength yet, but they can tell he has some great potential within him. So it's good that they not only have a new ally, but a Saiyan ally, someone that they can kind of relate with. Goku will continue working towards Ultra Instinct. Vegeta will probably practice more with his Yardrat powers. And as for Azir, well, Beerus thinks it's best that he finally starts training officially as a God of Destruction candidate. Just as he planned, he's convinced Azir to go this route, and he's made some great progress. He's also incredibly strong. At this point, he's even stronger than Vegeta, who just got some great training on Yardrat. And he's on the cusp of surpassing Goku. But with Ultra Instinct Omen, Goku did get pretty far ahead of him. But that's not going to deter Azir. Goku and him still have a nice rivalry, and he'll surpass Goku. Whether it be his own strength or his God of Destruction powers, he'll find a way. And you know what? Maybe along the way, he can teach them some great poses, kinda like Toppo did with him. They gotta fight with style after all. Although, with Azir aiming for the top, there is one important thing that he wants to do. Besides training with Toppo more and more, he needs to settle the score with Goku, his master. Naturally, Goku's not gonna turn down a fight, especially another opportunity for him to use Ultra Instinct against someone. Obviously there's not too many people he could fight with this form, so this will be a good sparring match for both of them. Toppo watches on too. Funny enough, it seems like Azir has 3 masters now. Goku, Beerus, and the most unexpected of all, Toppo. Maybe Universe 11 can actually learn something from the 7th. Inadvertently, this whole thing accidentally brought them closer. But Toppo looks on and wonders, can Azir surpass Ultra Instinct even? He saw the great power that Goku had, and he wonders if with all his training, Azir could surpass it somehow. The two of them battle, and Goku's surprised. They're almost evenly matched. Even during the battle, he notices Azir gets stronger. It's insane. With all their time apart, he never realized how strong Azir truly got. He knew he was strong, but he didn't know it got this far. He needs to keep up with Azir more, especially after the results of the fight, where surprisingly, Goku was beaten. The reincarnation of Frieza, with the power of a god of destruction, being able to beat Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. It's weird that they got to this point, especially with Frieza's reincarnation being a good guy. The universe is in good hands, the next god of destruction is very promising. And Toppo's proud too, but there is one more thing that he wants to do to improve Universe 7. He wants to set up that Pride Trooper division here. Goku and Vegeta don't really get the appeal, but Azir is hyped up for it, and he knows exactly the person to call to help set this up. His old pal Gohan. The two of them are way more excited than they should be. And Vegeta's not really looking forward to having a bunch of Pride Trooper freaks on his planet. But you know what? Goku thinks it sounds like fun, and he looks forward to it, just like he looks forward to facing Azir once more. And I think that's a great note to leave the series off on. This is where the scenario ends. So, what did you guys think about this part? And what did you guys think about the series as a whole? Do you think anything else would happen at all? And if so, what do you think that would be? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video. It lets me know that you guys like more videos like this. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting the scenario to the end, and I'll see you all in my next video.